So most AI strategies fail. Despite significant investment and enthusiasm, many companies fail to realize that AI promise. They start with experiments but don't manage to deliver meaningful returns. Now, it's not always a technology problem. The real issue tends to be often is that your AI strategy is not aligned to your business strategy. So AI often fails because you have leadership gaps and potentially poor execution, not necessarily the technology. The challenge that often organizations see is that they often invest in tools and they tend to start with scaling and upskilling those technical teams. So, running after the technology first instead of addressing the real issue. So, tools versus capability. Most organizations focus exclusively on purchasing and deploying AI tools. We have seen co-pilots, things like ChatGPT, and companies invest into those tools pretty heavily. However, that's not where the big value and the real dollars lie. And leading organizations, they approach it a bit differently. They build comprehensive AI capability across teams and across workflows. So the real difference is, where do you stand? When AI creates that real value, you have got skilled teams, that's individuals, actual human talent that understand how to leverage AI, what's the art of the possible with AI, and what type of business problems we should be addressing with AI technology. You should also be thinking about redesigning those workflows, processes. You need to reimagine your business process against those AI capabilities. So think if your business is having a problem optimizing sales, well, use AI to increase sales. If you have got a retention problem, focus on retaining customers, build out churn models, predict why customers leave the company, or how can you retain more customers potentially with better service or product. So refocus those workflows and leverage AI capabilities. Not just think automation and don't just think ChatGPT and Copilot. You also need to think about that governance as well. Many deploy AI into production, but governance tends to be an afterthought. They don't always think, well, how do we make sure that our AI is safe and delivering value? So before you put things into production, into deployment, think, do you have those risks addressed? What would happen if you have a data breach, or if someone hacks into your systems, or if AI delivers results that are not correct, potentially misinformation for your customers? So think as to what type of constraints you have got, what are the guardrails, and what risks might exist for your implementations. So, what's at stake in 2026? We have been experimenting in previous years with trying tools, pilots, projects, learning by doing. But in 2026, things are shifting towards measurable outcomes, scaling those deployments and measuring that ROI. So think about the measurable outcomes. What exactly that you're going to be tracking? How is your AI actually changing that bottom line? Scale those deployments and think about that clear ROI. How exactly your AI applications are impacting that bottom line. You also need to think about accountability. Who is accountable? Who is actually accountable if things go wrong? Who is in charge? And how are you monitoring things? Are you monitoring the actual AI experiments? Are you monitoring how customers interact with your AI systems, or how employees are leveraging those AI systems? Also, another note I have for you is that stakeholder buy-in. make sure that you have got alignment between your experiments and that leadership support. So let's focus on practical AI capability. Those practical AI skills, they're going to be key over the next, I would say, 3 to 5 years. The main skill that you're going to see is that AI literacy, that data literacy, that AI literacy, and that ability not just use AI, but understand where do you apply AI. So practical hands-on training with AI is going to build that competency. Many companies are actually starting training and upskilling their staff. The next area of focus tends to be those workflows. Now we're talking about leveraging AI agents, automation, leveraging AI to automate those business critical workflows. For example, let's optimize those HR policies and processes, or let's follow up with our customers. We can write, for example, custom emails to follow up with customers. And if your business writes thousands of such emails every day, that could be real value. Then we need to focus on that measurable business value. We need to focus on the outcomes that actually matter, those efficiency gains. If you don't have a churn problem, don't solve it. If your business is about sales, go there. Try to understand how AI could be of help there. So, AI is something that definitely has got a lot of capability, and you need to have that practical capability with it. Here are some 5 steps for you to consider for 2026. The first step is building AI and treating it not like a side project, but building it as a core capability for your business. Make sure that you're measuring the outcomes. Make sure that you're also upskilling the staff, upskilling the actual people that are going to be using the technology before you scale the technology. Start with the individual, start with the human. Train your teams to work with AI. Next, I'm going to say that you should go and look into those workflows. Design AI into your workflows. Tools actually don't actually create values, but workflows do. Buying another AI tool may not necessarily drive that business value. On average, companies that enable tools such as Microsoft Copilot don't see beyond 2-3% lift on their bottom line. However, those companies that are integrating AI into those business workflows and those business critical areas, they're able to achieve 10 times, 30 times, 30% potentially value on that bottom line. Number 4, I would say, is governance. Make sure that you have governance in mind. Before you scale, make sure that you have got those guardrails and that you set them early. Don't jump into experiments without assessing risks and setting those guardrails on your technology. Trust enables adoption. Finally, I would say measure and communicate. If your AI experiment is not being measured, you cannot say how much value it's actually delivering. So make sure that you don't just focus on the time saved. Make sure that you also discuss the productivity gained, that lift. Potentially, you could use AI to reduce those risks, or it could be driving your sales or enabling more in other areas downstream. Potentially, it is saving your staff hours, valuable hours every single day. But maybe you could use it to close more deals or close them faster. So think as to how exactly it's impacting your business. Build real AI capability. AI is not going to wait for you to catch up. If you wait for you to feel ready, you're never going to be ready. But the time to build your organizational capability is right now. It's actually today. At AI Future Leaders, we have got courses, boot camps, and corporate training. Do check us out. aifutureleaders.com. Thank you.